No One Will Save You was written and directed by Brian Duffield and is currently streaming on Hulu, and the film stars Caitlin Dever, who plays a young woman who's been alienated and exiled from her community. Then she soon finds herself in an action-packed face-off with a host of extraterrestrial beings who threaten her future while also forcing her to deal with her past. After watching this one, like I had to hit you up and tell you to watch it because this one surprised me.
Dude, I had 2 days to prepare for this movie, and this movie did not disappoint.
It didn't really.
It did not.
See, I like home invasion movies. I like Don't Breathe counts as one. Like right? Not like that. The Strangers, Hush, Don't Breathe, I guess counts, and Panic Room are amongst some of my favorite. And when hearing online about an alien invasion that has to deal with the home, immediately caught my interest because I like those type of films, especially alien films too, like Alien and Prey and stuff like that. But after finally sitting down and watching the film, I know I had to talk about it because it was a lot deeper than I expected it to be.
Oh, dude, it deals with like grief and stuff like really well. It really does. This movie was, I don't know, I want to say it's one of the best movies this year. I've seen this year.
It's in my top 10. It made my top 10.
It really, it did, mine too.
And
awesome.
And even like throughout the whole entire runtime, I was a big fan of the pacing. It was constantly going.
Dude, this movie was
right from the start,
super well.
It puts you right into the mix. Like, and there's like no dialogue in the film, only like one line.
There really is, and you know what? So much action in such a short film.
Yeah, it was like
a lot of action.
It was directed so crafty and scary, and like also moving too. But normally, I would say revealing the aliens too early kind of ruins the suspense and tension. But in this film, and considering the premise, I don't care.
Yeah, no, it didn't. Dude.
It's a home invasion movie.
It did it real
Show
well.
the aliens, man.
Yeah. They look like Paul. I think I told you earlier.
Paul, yeah.
Paul.
Yeah. I mean, the alien designs themselves are the typical alien design, but there's like a little spin on it, and but they weren't really that impressive until maybe like the end. They're like,
I think. You know what? No, I don't agree with that.
You think it was very good?
I think all the way to the beginning, from the beginning, right off the bat, the first encounter scene, like in the house, dude, pure horror.
Yeah,
it was like it had me on the edge of my seat. You know, she's running around the house, she's trying to evade this thing that you can't even see. It reminded me so much of The Predator.
Yeah, there's these constant obstacles she's overcoming, and then like the opening sequence, whenever she first sees the alien, and he's just running through the kitchen and stuff like that, and then you hear his footsteps. The sound design in this movie is amazing.
It really is.
It's really good.
It really is.
And I guess the only slight problem I had with the aliens themselves was the lighting mixed with the CGI, specifically for the interior shots at night.
I thought the CGI was good.
I thought it was solid, but there were some moments in the film where it kind of looked kind of off. But overall, it's just a little nitpick. But
it in my opinion, honestly, I think the CGI enhanced the aliens and really enhanced the feel of the movie. The weight of them. They're not flying around like weightless things. When they hit the wall, when they're climbing on the wall. There's a scene with a little alien. It's like running through everything.
Oh, yeah.
Ripping the door apart. Dude, like the CGI really makes them feel like they're there. That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It does look a little like...
straight, like our original.
I don't want to say cheap. But the CGI sometimes at some points looks a little off-putting.
My favorite thing about them though was how they interacted with each other.
Oh yeah, dude.
And how the community they had their symbiotic hand signals and their vibrations and
the clicking sounds they make. Like
their hand movements were creepy. They were actually creepy.
And there was a scene that really had me laughing is when one of the aliens grabs her and walks up. He's walking out with her, and there's this real tall one with long arms.
Oh,
like the YMCA logo or whatever. You know, like the song.
I thought that one was I thought that alien was cool.
Dude, it was huge. So badass.
The way it was like sitting on top of the house and then like moved its neck, and then it came around the house and revealing its long ass arms. Oh no, it was like it lifted its arms over like a praying mantis almost. That was cool. There was things in this film where I was watching the aliens and I was like, yeah, I think I could see real aliens actually doing that kind of stuff.
The cool thing is they're not like it's not showing like this whole town. It's this one singular person being attacked. And it's not till the end till you realize how big the invasion really is.
Oh yeah.
Which is also it's pretty good. That's kind of where it like gave me a little like, what the hell's going on? I kind of got confused around towards the end.
Yeah, but going back to what you were saying about the grief and trauma part, I thought it was handled perfectly.
Oh, dude, it really was.
And it wasn't shoved in your face like every 5 seconds, like most modern horror films when they use those same themes.
I think it's in the beginning where she's visiting the cemetery, and then that lady spits in her face at the what was it?
Oh, it was like some store or something like that. Yeah,
the cops there.
Oh, I think it was a police station.
Yeah, but other than that, it doesn't show like what happened, the extent of what's going on with her, and why she's feeling this.
Yeah, and it takes me back to when you were texting me before this review, when you were saying like you were confused until the end and stuff like that.
Yeah,
the film plants the seeds throughout the entire runtime until by the time you get to what actually happened, like you're like, oh shit, that's what happened. But then, once you go to the third act, it's kind of confusing. And I don't know if that was the director's true intentions or not, but I thought he executed it very well. And the film is like a psychological thriller as well.
Oh, it really is.
So I was waiting for a lot of those psychological elements to come into play. And then that's when we reached the final act of the film. And I thought it was the best part of the movie.
I think, when I was watching it, there's a scene where, real nasty, where the alien puts the little tentacle thing in her mouth. And she's transported to like this, like in her mind. Mm-hmm. But she, at one point, she has like the willpower where she's, you know what, this isn't real because this is my mother. She's dead. And it's real nasty. Reaches her deep inside her mouth and pulls the thing out. But it's the mental strength, and it's all this crazy shit that's happening to her, and it's making her stronger. And I like that. I like that about this movie.
Yeah, and also speaking of the ending too, that's what divided the audience. I don't know if you saw the audience score.
I didn't.
The critically it's 83, and then audience score is like a 56.
The ending
was confusing to a lot of people, but that's because there's a deeper meaning behind it that has to deal with. It's kind of an allegory about forgiveness,
grief, and like come to terms with
oneself. And then, so throughout both our protagonists and the aliens, everything felt so, in my opinion, visually and emotionally compelling throughout those sequences, and. The way I interpreted the ending was that the aliens, as they're witnessing the visual representations of Bryn's pain and how she has to cope with her life after that incident and after the death of her mom, so they kind of resented and felt her pain as well and kind of accepted her. And she kind of is living the life now that she's always wanted to live, being accepted. And then that's why at the end of the film, you see everybody being controlled by those parasites, except her. Yeah,
like she had the will. To beat whatever this was. And you know what? Throughout the movie, especially in the beginning, she's a really weak character.
Oh yeah, she's like your typical, maybe like you're like it's the girl that gets murdered in like one of those other horror slasher movies and stuff like that.
Like it's not towards. Maybe when it's not towards what it's towards when the ships are outside and this really cool lighting effect is going around the house and she's sneaking around the house and she's like doing all this stuff. She turns the stove on and water. She puts the hot water.
Yeah, it kind of adds that like they add a little bit of Home Alone in there. She's getting prepared the house prepared.
Like it's really building her up to be a capable character,
and she gets a high kill count too.
No, she really does.
That
first kill was hilarious.
It was
right to the head. But it was super cool, dude. The aliens, surprisingly too, like they look legit.
Oh yeah,
like you said, like the design of them, the proportions of them, like they're not all the same CGI looking characters.
This is what I would want in an alien film.
Yeah.
Exactly what I would want in an alien film. I mean, this is exactly how I think aliens would act too. So the way they were portrayed was so good. And I like the way that the route that they went. And it sucks that this was a straight to Hulu. I felt like this deserved a theatrical release with a bunch of marketing behind it.
It's a good Hulu original.
It is, yeah. And Hulu has made a bunch of good films too.
Oh, they really
I loved Prey. I loved Fresh, and they're coming out with original stuff all the time too. So
I think in the horror department and some action, I think they're pretty decent. It's pretty good. They have a good catalog.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of stuff I don't understand about this film, like the clone sequence and stuff like that. Stuff I don't understand. But I mean, I love how the director leaves it up for imagination and self-interpretation.
Yeah,
I love that aspect of this film too, because like, I mean, the more you watch it, the more you learn.
Yeah.
So I think this film has that kind of element to it. So I can't wait to watch the film again.
It's really good. It's a really good like character building movie.
Yeah.
Especially juggling the fact that they don't have dialogue. A lot of the emotional moments, especially like when she's in a dream state and the mom's there. It's depending on her facial acting. A lot of the sound design too.
Yeah,
the movie's really relying on that kind of stuff, and the CGI helps it too. Everything's like it's really put together. It's
the execution
well. Yeah, there you go.
And even that visual representation, like when she grabs her younger self's hand, that kind of puts a deeper meaning into the name of the movie itself. No one will save you but yourself.
Yeah,
and I think that is amazing.
There's a lot of good emotional moments like that. There's one that I really saw was when she grabs a frame picture.
Mm-hmm.
The alien pulls the book away. It's pulling everything away, but she holds onto that picture real freaking tight.
Dude,
until the alien pulls and he sees it. And, it's the one thing she didn't want to let go of.
All I'm saying is if aliens ever come here and they have telekinesis, we're fucked.
Dude.
That aspect of the aliens was creepy. I would be scared shitless if that ever happened in real life.
So I thought they had... the movie's like, I don't know, it doesn't give you enough information on the aliens to the point where I just decided myself, they're force sensitive. These aliens are force sensitive.
Force sensitive.
You know what's really nice about this movie that I was really surprised about going into it was the lighting and the effects, the visual effects of the movie, the cinematography itself.
The editing throughout really those sequences throughout the house was good. It was really good.
It's smooth. It's not real choppy. It's not like one of these movies where kind of like the Strangers in a way. Mm-hmm. The first movie, that's what it reminded me of so much, and I just loved it.
Yeah, this is definitely has that. I can't wait to watch it again.
It has that feeling of professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody really put their heart and soul into this thing.
Oh, for sure.
Dude, it was
even the director himself had even said like, yeah, I kind of pulled a couple of things from A24 towards that end where I was gonna make it trippy and like visually compelling, but I liked how like when the aliens dropped her and then like she sees all those colors and that's when she finally starts to smile.
Yeah,
like she's basically like a new version of herself, basically. And then it really is at the end of the film.
It's a new her. It really is. Yeah.
And going back to the aliens, like. There was a sequence that caught me by surprise, actually, was when she was snooping around and that one alien was just like chilling and then he moves his hand like this and then he throws her through the fucking wall. I was like, oh shit. Oh fuck. But yeah.
And you know what? I love the one thing I really love about this movie too is it's not showing this huge invasion, not to the end, like I said, but when it does show it, it's believable.
Mm-hmm.
It's the spaceships aren't all clumped up together and stuff.
That's so cool how that happened though. Like you could see like the outlines of each ship, and then they break apart, and they form one huge one. That's super so cool. That was really cool.
Freaking awesome. And the spaceship design it's
your typical
UFO style spaceship. That circle. I don't know, but it worked really well. I think the movie put together from scene to scene is you take a piece out, it'll look weird.
It's well crafted. Yeah, it's a well crafted film. And then there was one part in the film where I was like, man, if she stays in the house this whole movie, I'm gonna be like, she got to do something. Yeah. But then she ends up leaving the house actually like multiple times, and I'm like, damn, she really can't get away.
Her leaving the house led to my favorite or one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Which
on the bus?
Oh, the bus scene.
The bus scene was
when it
nuts.
When it reveals like how they're invading the humans and like. Basically turning them,
everything like moving and
then right there, that's before we see how that happens. So like we're like, what the hell? And then like you see the thing moving in his neck, and then later on in the film we see what that thing is.
And I don't know if you noticed, but they really into it in the beginning too. And the
oh really?
Yeah, there's a scene in the cemetery where she's walking. There's a whole like a little group of people in a circle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she looks and she's like, what the hell's going on? Because they're not really around like any specific tombstones or anything. They're just people in a circle. And that goes to when she's in the yard and there's that circle.
Yeah,
the crop circles or whatever you want to call them.
She's all just trying to water the grass. There's like a billion other ones around her too.
But yeah, there's a really cool overhead shot where the pans up, I guess, using a drone, and she goes running across the lawn or whatever it was. I thought it was real cool. Yeah. This movie alone is, I don't know, man. I can't explain it. It's really well crafted, and I love it.
Yeah, I thought you would like it because I saw it and finished it, and I was like, damn, that was good. I gotta tell Steven about this one if he wants to review it too. So I'm glad you sat down and watched it, and it was so far a really good review on the film because it was, yeah. But
I just had my notes right here that if she had a gun, the movie would have been over for her. Yeah.
But I mean, she's so. But it makes sense though because she's so self-isolated from this town that hates her. So
why do they hate her?
So spoiler warning. So she had a best friend whose name was Maud.
Okay.
And Maud, in the visual representation that they show at the end, Maud pushed her on the floor and she grabs a rock and she hits her.
Oh yeah.
Leading to her death. That girl's father was the sheriff of the town.
Yeah.
And so the mother, sheriff
was the one who spit in her face, I remember.
Yeah.
I love that the sheriff had enough that he was man enough to not actually do anything to her or not do anything to his wife because he understands and they just leave. I like that. It's real good. They build characters that don't even like talk or speak or anything.
It's all done visually. Yeah. And like
the acting, dude, and the aliens, the way they move, all that kind of stuff. You can tell it's somebody doing it. They either overlay it with CG or it's like a suit, so someone in a suit. But everything about it's great. I love it.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
You gotta show me more of these movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I usually go online and I'll be like, because sometimes they'll be recommending me movies, but half of the time they're shit. And then whenever I do see like new upcoming releases off of Hulu and stuff like that, I'm like, especially I gotta really read the synopsis and stuff like that because I love watching random movies. I love watching random movies. I do it all the time.
It's just enjoying it.
Yeah, because I love being surprised. I can't stand. That's why I kind of distance myself from more of like the mainstream stuff because it's just the same stuff, the same formulas and the same characters that we're used to, and I need something different, man.
It gets a bit tiring at some
point. Thank God for this film. I really love this film. It made my top 10, and I can't wait to do a top 10 video at the end of the year if you're down to do that. Do and
this movie really I don't know, it felt like a experience.
It did.
It felt like a film. This is the kind of shit that you go to a movie theater. This is the kind of shit you want to see on the screen.
Yeah.
That's
why I was disappointed kind of a little bit when it didn't get a theatrical release with a huge marketing team pushing this film. Because I think it would have done really good.
Yeah. Dude,
I would have loved to see this film in
I think this movie would have killed in theaters. It really would. Besides the ending being a bit confusing, which is understandable, it's, I don't know, this movie could have freaking killed it in the box office.
This film's getting a lot of buzz right now, but I think later on, as years go by, it's going to be a cult classic.
You think so? Like Strangers?
So. It will be a classic, yeah.
Like how The Strangers started off as this little thing.
Mm-hmm.
This was, yeah. But I can see it. Honestly, I can see it. Something like Aliens.
Yeah.
Or maybe they build upon the story or something like that. Yeah. Which
they could.
It's going to end up being a bad decision.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine on its own. I mean, maybe if they had expanded like the aliens more, maybe. But I think everything was just contained.
What I would like to see is another film like this, but with a different person, a different story, with their own problems, with the aliens, you know, but all at the same time, something you can like put together without expanding on the aliens.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because I think the secrecy of the aliens themselves it really builds this movie, and I like it. I like the idea of it.
Yeah, because this film goes into directions you don't expect. Yeah. It starts off as a home invasion movie with aliens, and then it just turns into something that's so deep and powerful. Yeah. But I love the way the movie ended, and I love the way it all played out.
Oh, I don't mind the ending. It's good.
And I definitely recommend anybody to check out this film now. It's streaming on Hulu, so yeah, I definitely recommend this one. And that's all I have to say about that.
5 stars. What are you giving it?
I'm giving it a 4 stars.
I was gonna go 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah, which isn't bad.
Yep. So yeah. That's No One Will Save You. We look forward to making more reviews for you guys soon. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next video.
I'm Steven Gomez.
And I'm Matt Lopez. And this
was Primetime Flicks.
Yeah, that was great.
See you later. Dude, this movie was awesome, dude.